This is Stephanie from Spinsters in the Making blog, and today I'm coming to you to show you how to do the number 28 hope block for the Sewcialites quilt along. So for my 9-inch block, I need 2.5-inch squares, 2 of those, for my print and my background. And then I will also need 2 by 3.5-inch rectangles of my background, and then 4 3.5-inch squares of my print. So we're going to start off with our 2.5-inch squares. I've drawn a line diagonally on my background fabrics, and what we're going to do is sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides of those to get 4 2-inch squares that we're going to be trimmed down to that size. So you want to make sure you sandwich your good sides together, and then you're going to sew on either side of that line to get a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Cut, press towards your dark fabric, trim down to 2 inches, and you will get 4 of your 2-inch blocks. And we'll move on to the next part. Alright, so I have made my 4 2-inch blocks, squared them down, and now we can start laying out one of our 4 parts of our block. So they'll all look the same, and you'll rearrange them to create the effect of the block. So you have your C rectangle, which is going to be your 3.5-inch square of your print. You're going to take one of your 2-inch half triangle squares and point that print in towards your 3.5-inch block, and then you're going to take 2 of your B fabrics, which is your 2 by 3.5-inch rectangles, and fold them out like this. I'm gonna grab a different one, I need to iron that. Like this. And you're going to make 4 of these. So sew these 2 together first and these 2 together first, and then we will sew on this line right here later with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'll come back to you when I have all 4 of these blocks built. So I've sewn these 2 pieces together and these 2 pieces together, and now all I have to do is take one of my pieces, fold it down on top of this other one like this. Make sure that these seams right here are sandwiched well together. So with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, press those open, and do that with all 4 of these pieces to get 4 of my blocks, and we'll be complete with that, and we can start laying out the block. I've completed my 4 blocks that will be turning into this larger block, so now we can start laying out the full hope block. So you're going to take one of your pieces, making sure that this smaller piece is facing in towards the center of your block. You're going to take one and mirror it diagonally from each other like this. And then for these ones, you're actually going to have that smaller block facing out this way with your print block in towards the middle like this. So now that we have it laid out, we can sew these 2 seams together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, press it open, or actually I'll press them towards my larger print block size, and then that way when I sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance here, I can nestle those 2 points together, and I will complete all of this and we'll be finished with the block. So here is the finished hope block number 28 for the Sewcialites. I kind of really like this block. It's pretty simple to construct, and also it has like a really great geometric shape. And I think it would be really good for a modern quilt where you're using pastels or just solid colors and gradients to like create a block. But overall, pretty simple, easy to do. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you liked it, please like and subscribe. I also pressed my seams open, by the way, but as always, happy quilting!